Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
Roberta.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing good today. Happy Tuesday. I'm a little under the weather. I feel like I'm getting a cold or something. But welcome to J is for Justice. This actually starts at 9 o'clock. So we are a little bit early.
Roberta.
Good morning, J for J in chat. Woohoo! 14 months of Roberta. Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here, Jilly. Hey, you guys are really lucky that I got up for this. Actually, I'm lucky I got up for this. So I hope everybody's got their coffee because we've got a few minutes. Yeah, I don't know if it's like allergies or if I'm getting a cold. It's like, I know, I hope you feel better, Shell. Shell has the flu, you guys. Lucia, I think it's going around. My granddaughter was up with 103 fever last night. So it's definitely going around. And I was with her Saturday. And my husband's like, hey, baby D. My husband's like, did you kiss her on the mouth? And I was like, I was all over that baby. Are you kidding me? So I think if I do get sick, it's safe to say I got it from her. And you know what? I guess it was worth it. Lucia, I have been pumping the chewable vitamin C's for sure. But while we wait, I've got some things to cover on this case. Hold on, let me pull it up. So we got about 20 minutes before it starts. And they're just going to keep them there, but hey, we've watched every other one, you know. But today is actually the anniversary of the murders at Oxford High School. 1 year ago today. So here is a video from that day. And I want to let you guys know this is a trigger warning. This is the kids at Oxford School on that day. Let's see. You're right. It is the 30th. It's tomorrow.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door. Look at my bag, bro.
No. Yeah, bro.
He said bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
Go.
Oh.
Hey, Lizzie.
Slow down. You're fine.
I want you to drop backpacks. You're okay. We're okay. Drop your backpacks. Still. Christy? Yes. Thank you. Drop your backpacks.
Oh, it's slippery as f***.
Hey, Jeff Kent. Hey, Potato. Hey, Shell. Hey, Angie B.
I'm not standing up. Go home.
Hey, Dr. Melmo. Good morning.
Guys, leave your bag!
Yo, Colin. Yo, Colin. Yo, where's Colin's house? I don't know where Colin went.
Horrible. Agree, baby D. Agree. Prisoners are more protected than our kids in schools. At times, yeah. That is the first video. Now this one is James Crumbley calling 911 on the day of the Oxford shooting.
911 to location of the emergency. Okay, I'm not really sure. I'm at my house. There's an active shooter situation going on at the high school. My son goes to the high school. I have a missing gun at my house. I need an officer to come to my house right away, please. Okay, I'm not going to be able to send anybody to your house right now. So they're on the active shooter situation. I understand that. There's a missing gun there. I have a missing gun, and my son is at the school, and we had to go meet with the counselor this morning because of something that he wrote on a test paper, and then I was in down, and I saw a whole bunch of cops going somewhere, and I made sure that I wanted to get to the high school, because I was going to the high school, and then somebody told me that there was an active shooter, and then I raced home just to find out. Okay, and I think my son took the gun. I don't know. It's him. I don't know what's going on. I'm really freaking out. My son's name is Ethan Crumbley. Crumbley. All right, sir, I'm going to put you on hold for just 1 second, okay? I'm about to come in and see if I can do anything for you, okay? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Crumbley? Yes. All right, I'm going to get your name and phone number, and I'm going to have my lieutenant that's out there dealing with the situation. He's going to contact you, okay? What's your first name? My first name is James. Is the last name Crumbley? Yes. Okay. And what's that phone number for you? 248-760-6483. Okay, do you know what your son was doing when he left the house this morning? He had on a pair of sweatpants and like a gray shirt. A gray white sweatshirt. Okay. Alright. Alright, somebody's gonna give you a call, okay? I can't give you a time frame because of it. They're right in the middle of all of this. So I can't give you a time frame, but they're gonna give you a call as soon as it's possible, okay? Okay. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye.
You think he sounds like he's trying to
Prosecutor seeking a
explain
life
something?
sentence
Hold
with
on.
no chance.
Let me come back to chat. Mike says, I've always wondered why he didn't start with the gun first on this call. He sounds like he is frustrated explaining something instead of asking for help. I think he's frantic because he knows his kid just did this. Here's another video. Or no, this is that same day. That same one, I mean.
Sheriff's office! Yeah, we're here.
I agree. It's a good pickup on the bro thing.
Yeah, we're here.
Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Mary.
Yes. Sheriff's office. Safe to come out.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door. Look at my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
No. He said, bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
Go.
Well, he definitely knew Dr. Malmo because Jennifer knew. Jennifer told her coworker that it was Ethan when this happened. I think my son. And then she hurried and left work. So they knew.
Welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. More video emerging from that incident where there was allegedly a 15-year-old who had opened fire at a high school in Michigan. This video is showing some moments of students starting to run out of a classroom, out of the building as gunfire had rang out. Now, officials do say that the suspect is a sophomore in high school. They do have 4 teens who were killed. Other students and a teacher were hurt. Now, investigators still have much to do here in this incident, but this video again was showing just some of those panicked moments that were happening inside of that school. We've heard from just some of those different community
his
members
mother,
about
remember?
this tragedy shaking everyone to their
His
core.
mother said, don't do it, remember? In the text. She said, don't do it. Let's take a step back and let's watch a little bit of Jennifer's coworker. I rewatched this a few weeks ago and I was stunned because the first time I watched it, I don't know, it didn't really all hit me. But when I watched it again, I was like, whoa. Jennifer Crumbley really is a piece of shit.
KATHYPOLIQUIN.
This is Jennifer Crumbley's coworker.
Kathy, just for purposes of laying the groundwork here, you work for a real estate management company, correct? Okay, what's your title there?
Director of Human Resources.
Okay, and again, remembering, trying to match the volume of my voice. What do you oversee? What are your duties?
I oversee all human resource functions.
So it's the human resource
You
girl
know
at
if-
Crumbley's work. So let's get into like the meat and potatoes here.
You knew anything about it before you came into your office?
I knew nothing about it.
Okay, what was Jennifer saying?
She was very hysterical. I don't recall verbatim. Very hysterical. She was trying to get to the school. I believe she was talking about, the gun was missing. She was concerned about it could be Ethan.
When she said the gun, did you know what gun she was talking about?
I was assuming it was her handgun. That was, I saw on social media.
You were assuming it was the same gun that was posted on Instagram, that my
Yes.
son, a gun on early Christmas present, is that the post? Okay.
Yes.
And did you ever see the exhibit that's up on the screen, the math worksheet?
Yes.
When did you see it?
I saw it at the same time Andy Smith came into my office with John on the phone. He put his cell phone down and pulled up the picture of that on his phone.
And did you take a good look at it?
I did.
When?
While he was talking on the phone.
What was your thought?
My first thought was this boy needs help.
Okay, did you say anything about it?
No.
Okay, so you were just listening to
Yes.
Jennifer? And at some point, did you talk to Jennifer again that day?
Yes.
How many times?
Maybe 1 or 2. I don't recall how many.
And what was the purpose of did she call you or did you call her?
She called Me, I did not call her.
Okay, and were you ever involved in any calls that she and Andy had together?
I believe we were on a call together.
Okay, what was the purpose of the calls from Jennifer?
I recall one conversation, she was afraid to lose her job.
Do you remember what time that was?
I don't recall the exact time.
Was it during the work hours?
It was during work hours.
Okay. And what was your response?
Our response was to tend to your family and don't worry about work. Just tend to your family. Let's talk about it next week.
Did you get another request to come to about work?
Yes.
And what was it?
It was this same request that she didn't want to lose her job. She was afraid to lose her job. And another senior leadership, Nancy Lutfi, was with us on the phone and stated that she was going to be on administrative leave for the next couple of weeks and just to not worry about work.
What did Jennifer say?
Thank you. She said to tell our senior leadership, thank you.
Did she ever say she wanted to come into work?
She did.
What did she say?
That she wanted to come in. She thought she could possibly come in a few days later, maybe for a half a day to get her mind off things.
Later that week, the week of the shooting?
Yes, what day was the shooting?
Tuesday, November 30th.
Yes, Thursday or Friday.
So she wanted to come in back to work that week?
She wanted to
Yes,
work
so
the
what
day
was
of
your
the shooting.
She said, no, you're on administrative leave.
Okay.
Don't worry about coming into work. We'll talk in a couple weeks.
And did you ever hear Jennifer ask to leave work to take Ethan to present to the doctor?
No,
Do you know, did she ever talk about him getting any kind of medical attention?
no.
All right. Did she ever talk about her horses getting medical attention?
I think a few times she had mentioned the vet, the horse was
So
sick.
she talked about the vet, but
One more
didn't take
here.
Ethan to the doctor, but took the horse to the horse vet.
I'm all set.
Any cross on behalf of Jennifer?
Yes, Your Honor. I want to go through the November 30th date with you. When you were with, it sounds like Andy Smith, and he came into your office with Jennifer on the phone. Do you recall that?
Yes,
And you testified that she was hysterical. Did I get that right?
correct.
Can you describe what it means can you describe what you mean by that?
I don't recall exactly what she was saying. I know she was just very upset. She was trying to get to the school. I believe she said the roads were closed off. She was having a difficult time getting there. We had said to her, call the police. She said James already did. The gun was missing, but she was just, I don't recall exactly what she said, but she was just really
Dr. Melba.
upset and hysterical.
Did she sound panicked?
Panic, yeah, yes.
Was she talking fast?
Was she
Yes.
talking fast?
You and Andy were trying to just get her to at least stay calm, is that correct?
Yes,
It was a separate phone call, when Jen was asking if she still had her job, is that correct?
yes,
And she told you part of the reason she didn't wanna, she told you she didn't know how to handle this, correct?
yes,
And she doesn't know, she told you, she needed information from you so that she could get money to pay for a lawyer. Is that correct?
yes, I think she wanted check stubs.
You would be the person to contact for check stubs or verification of employment, correct?
Yes,
And Jennifer explicitly said she needs to get a loan to pay to have a lawyer, correct?
yes,
So any kind of check stubs or documents you needed to prepare, she would have asked you for those materials, correct?
as an active employee, she still had access to her check stubs. She just had to log into the payroll system.
Okay, but if, like, for example, a loan officer needed documentation or something, as the HR person, you can send those materials along, correct?
Yes,
You,
Still waiting for this hearing to begin, you guys.
now, as you were talking to Ms. Crumbley, she also sent you a different email address to send any materials to from her pay stubs and things like that, correct?
Yes,
She indicated to you her Outlook isn't working, and she needed you to use this other address.
yes.
So the bulk of your conversation is really about these logistics, about pay stubs.
All right, we're going to skip her.
Is that correct?
Yes. While she was talking.
Did-
What's going on, I didn't really have time to.
Any cross on the end, James? Nothing on behalf of Mr. Crumbley. Any redirect?
Briefly, Your Honor, counsel just asked you about, you weren't surprised by the conversation you had with Jennifer, with benefits and getting money out in pay stubs, and you responded that you weren't, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but were you surprised that just a couple hours after her son murdered children in a school, she's asking about her job?
Yes.
And she also asked you about pictures. Did anything strike you unusual when you actually cleaned out Jennifer's desk?
Unusual, slightly.
What was that?
Your Honor, may we approach, please?
What, if any, pictures, Kathy, did you find in Jennifer's desk, on the desk, in the desk?
In the desk drawer was a small photo frame of her husband in one of the desk drawers upside down. And the only other photos I saw and found was a small picture of her son on her bulletin board and a picture of a horse. I don't know if it was her horse or whatnot, but it was a picture.
So she had pictures of the horse. She had pictures of James, but no pictures of Ethan, I think was the prosecutor's point there. But she was worried about losing her job and wanted to work the week of the shooting. Now, if you guys remember, they were found in a warehouse in downtown Detroit. We've never heard anything more about this guy whose warehouse they were in downtown Detroit, which is so bizarre. He's an artist.
Alicia, police seized all of Anjay Shakura's phones and computers. Right now, they're trying to figure out how much he knew and if his true intentions were to help the Crumbleys avoid arrest. He was actually here at the sheriff's office yesterday for questioning, and police say he is cooperating.
I believe that at the end of this, they're going to conclude that they really had no involvement with the Crumbleys.
Clarence Das says his client Anjay Shakura is innocent. The 65-year-old owns an art studio, the same place James and Jennifer Crumbley were found shacked up in after failing to turn themselves into police. Das says Shakura didn't know the Crumbleys or their son were involved in the mass shooting at Oxford High School, and as soon as he did, he contacted the Oakland County Sheriff's Office.
He knows what he knows, and he knows that his involvement was so limited here. And most people don't go to the police voluntarily.
Is he crying?
And he did.
The Crumbleys are facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Police say their son Ethan used a handgun they purchased to shoot up his school. He killed 4 people and injured 7 others. Das says his client was trying to protect the Crumbleys from danger, not the police.
The Crumbleys asked for a safe place to stay to avoid death threats and hostility that was surrounding their home.
After a 2-hour interview at the sheriff's office, investigators executed a search warrant at Shakura's house. They seized all of his electronics. Police are also looking into a second car belonging to the Crumbleys that was parked at a different location than where they were found.
We had uncovered a vehicle that the family also owned at a different hotel. So, there was a lot of things in motion here. And the fact that they were in a warehouse at kind of an off the beat path in Detroit certainly is not indicative of someone that looked like they were going to surrender from.
They weren't going to surrender. So, still, nonetheless, it's bizarre that they knew this guy well enough to reach out and say, hey, we need a safe place to go. We're getting ready to start our meeting So hold on. Let me get it up here on the screen. So again, this is going to be just the status hearing, or a placement hearing rather, to see if Ethan Crumbley stays in jail or goes to juvie. All right, here we go. Are they going to have Ethan on here today? They usually do. They have asked for a lighter sentence for Ethan too. Yep, inmate Crumbley. There he is. Did he cut his hair since the plea? Well, he did throw his dad under the bus when he pled guilty. They had him state that his father, he gave him the money for the gun, and his father bought the gun, and because he asked him to. I think he's sitting, Shell. Like, I don't know what he's got, a tablet probably.
Recording in progress.
This meeting is being recorded.
Your Honor, calling People versus Ethan Crumbley, case number 2022-279-506-FC.
Thank you. And Mr. Crumbley, are you there, sir? Deputies, if you could, please start Mr. Crumbley's video.
Looks like he may be frozen, Your Honor.
Is he frozen or is he just in a trance?
Looks like we're having
Oh,
technical
Lord.
difficulties over at the jail this
Ethan
morning.
froze up.
Give it a moment.
Leakage, and that there was a lot of leakage to.
Come on, Ethan.
Okay, here we go. Mr. Crumbley, can you hear us okay? He again appears to be frozen.
Objection!
Deputies, are you there?
You're what the French call les incompetents.
Thank you. What we're going to do is we're going to go off the record briefly. Okay, it sounds like the jail is trying to connect.
Your Honor, I'm currently on the phone with the jail just to find out what's going on.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're loud and beefy.
Oh, I don't blame him at all either. I'm glad he threw him under the bus.
Did I ask them to do that?
Recording stopped.
The recording has stopped.
Your Honor, per the jail, it looks like the location that the individual is in does not have the best reception, so they are going to have to relocate him and reconnect him. And that should take no more than a few minutes.
Okay, everyone can go ahead and cut their video and mute them, cut their videos off and mute themselves. And whenever we have Mr. Crumbley available, we will let everyone
Okay,
know.
we have to wait for Mr. Crumbley to
Thank you.
reconnect. He's going to be moved to another part of the jail. Mary Pike, I agree. I think he needs some major help. And this production is brought to you by J is for Justice. If you would like to support the stream, you can send a super chat or a donation to PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. How'd that sound? Professional? And thank you for joining. If you could please give this video a like while we're waiting for our hearing to conclude. Oh, I have sympathy for Ethan, and I'll tell you why. Because he wasn't like this little shit who was saying, I'm going to kill people, blah, blah, blah. Like, he literally asked for help from the people that were supposed to care for him, who were responsible for him. Yes, give this video a like, please.
She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house.
If Lizzie Bones is still here, I want to thank Lizzie Bones. She sent me a video that I had not seen. Our friend Jeremy from the Idaho murders. Jeremy spoke to Court TV last night. There he is.
Mr. Crumbley, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. That being said,
Recording in progress.
This meeting is being recorded.
Your Honor, calling people versus Ethan Crumbley, case number 2022-279-506-FC.
Thank you. Good morning, counsel. Appearances for the record. When you give your appearance, please indicate whether or not you consent to proceed via Zoom this morning.
Thank you, Marquise. On behalf of the people, we consent via Zoom, Judge.
Good morning, Your Honor. Markeisha Washington appearing on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Paulette Michelle Lofton on behalf of Mr. Crumbley. We are consenting to proceeding by Zoom.
I did, Shell.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amy Happ, also on behalf of Ethan Crumbley, consenting to appearing by Zoom.
Good morning, Your Honor. Deborah H. McKelvey on behalf of Ethan Crumbley, and I'm also consenting to this hearing on Zoom.
Thank you, and good morning again to all counsel. Mr. Crumbley, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can.
And are you okay with proceeding via Zoom?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Today's date and time
You're
set
bright-eyed
for
and bushy-tailed.
a hearing, a review hearing under the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. As all counsel are aware, we must conduct a hearing every 30 days because the defendant is a minor placed in an adult facility, and therefore we've been conducting hearings every 30 days. With that being said, as it relates to the defendant's placement, any updates from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. As it relates to the defendant's placement, any updates from the prosecution?
None from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. The court will note that at our prior hearing, defendant Crumbley did plead guilty to all 24 counts that he was charged with. So based upon that, as well as the court's other reasoning as previously outlined, the court does believe that it continues to be in the interest of justice to continue defendant's placement at the Oakland County Jail. And we will set another review hearing under the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act for January 5th, 2023 at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Again, that was January 5th, 2023 at 9 a.m. via Zoom. As it relates to the tentative Miller hearing that was set, I will note that I had tentatively set it for February 9th, 2023. However, for reasons stated off the record, the court is going to adjourn that hearing to February 10th, 2023, which is the next day, a Friday, for the reasons that I stated off the record. I will note that this is a tentative date as there are other procedural issues that we need to address prior to this hearing. With that being said, is there anything else we need to address for the record this morning?
Not from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're very welcome. With that being said, everyone have a great day. I'll see you all back in January.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so I wonder what was talked about off record. And then they also said that there was reasons discussed off record. So what is going on? Because we know that the Crumbley parents don't have a date yet for their trial. They have appealed all this shit, this evidence. They don't want in these text messages, blah, blah, blah. So That is now going to the Supreme Court. And you might be wondering, what the hell is on your screen? Well, that was one of the funny videos that I was going to play for you guys. But you're going to have to wait until the end. But if Lizzie is still here, and if she's not, maybe she'll replay this. But Lizzie sent me a video of Jeremy. And yes, Shell, I did see the Summer Wells thing. That is bizarre. Okay. Here we have Jeremy talking about all the interviews that have been done and all of the videos about him. This is, I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Let's make this bigger so you can see his ass. Okay, so he spoke to Court TV yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, apparently I'm famous on the internet now for something that I didn't do. About people just basically comparing me to Stephen McDaniels, and then just going through all of my social media history, just finding posts from a decade ago, and just saying, oh, it must be him, obviously it's him, he's done interviews, why else would he do these if he didn't do it? He wants to be close to the crime scene. I didn't do it, I have nothing to hide, I'm willing to give DNA, fingerprints, whatever they need. But yeah, it's just upsetting being compared to a murderer when I didn't do anything. I'm naturally an awkward person. Just my mannerisms, the way I talk. A lot of things have been online about, oh, when he was talking, he went from present tense to past tense in one of his sentences, partly because everyone corrects themselves when they're talking. And so just my natural person, I'm a little bit socially awkward, so I might smile at points that I shouldn't. I might make weird hand movements when I shouldn't, stuff like that. And so people have sort of keyed into that and said, oh, he's a weirdo, he must be this killer. And so it's just stuff like that. And so, plus I think it's the amount of interviews I've done, because I have a problem saying no. Because if it's not going to hurt me physically or financially, I might as well help someone. I was home, I was asleep. I went to bed around 11:30ish that night. And so I didn't see or hear anything. Correct, yeah, I didn't know any of them. I had seen them just walking around when I would take my dog out. So I would recognize them, but I didn't actually know their names because I just don't stop and introduce myself to people. As I had mentioned in one of the other interviews, I usually carry a weapon on me now, whereas I didn't used to when I moved up to Moscow, just because it was such a safe community.
What do you guys think of that? I know it's a little off topic here, but I was a little shook by this. And yes, I did say that about Crumbley, Mary. Let me pull up that information because, yes, the Michigan Supreme Court is now deciding on some of this evidence, I think. Or, yeah, I think it's keeping out the evidence, the text messages. Let's get the facts. Oh, they want the case dismissed. My apologies. That's why I pull up the facts. Here we go. This will explain what's going on with the Crumbley.
Defense for James and Jennifer Crumbley filed a motion in the Michigan Supreme Court. They are asking the state's top court to dismiss the charges against them. Attorneys for the Crumbleys say their clients' constitutional rights are being violated. The Crumbleys each face 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in connection to the shooting at Oxford High School on November 30th of 2021. In September, the appeals court denied the attorneys' request for a stay. One argument being made is they are not being treated fairly by the prosecution, and the attorneys fear a jury will be biased.
The question that will be asked during jury selection is whether or not if any of the pretrial publicity or news articles or social media comments that they saw about the case will affect their ability to listen to the case and make an unbiased, fair decision.
But over the course of 3 days, trauma professionals with Guidepost Solutions have set up inside 2 locations in Oakland County. The company's president tells me their goal is to gather as much information into the days leading up to the shooting on November 30th, 2021.
So that's pretty much it. They're asking now the highest court to dismiss the case against them. Here's a little flashback to their sign language days.
Both parties.
When Jennifer and James just had to tell each other how much they loved each other.
We are here today for purposes of the defendant's motion to reduce bond. The court has had the opportunity to review the pleadings that were submitted by both parties, along with listening to oral argument today. I want to point out that the court rule that applies to this case is MCR 6.106. That court rule requires that the court set a bond that will assure the reasonably assure appearances of the defendant for all court hearings, and also reasonably assure any risk and or evaluation of risk to public safety. The factors that the court is to consider are all listed in subsection F.
Her attitude has sure changed since then.
Those factors, and some of they are not mutually exclusive, but those factors include prior criminal history. And in this case, the defendants did have a prior misdemeanor conviction in the state of Florida. Their record of appearances or non-appearances at court proceedings or flight to avoid prosecution. The defendant's history of substance abuse or addiction.
Look at her forehead.
The seriousness of the offense charged, the presence or absence of threats, and the probability of conviction and likely sentence. The defendant's employment status and history, and financial history as the factors relate to the ability to post, and facts indicating that the defendant's ties to the community, including family ties and relationships, and lengths of residency. In this case, the court makes the following finding: that the defendants in this case have ties to the state of Florida. In fact, they did reside in the state of Florida, and as the prosecutor indicated, they still have family in the state of Florida. After the charges were issued, the defendants did not voluntarily turn themselves in. Instead, they were found in an abandoned building in the city of Detroit. Their vehicle was hidden to the extent that they were trying to avoid
Caption Jennifer Crumbley's face right now in chat. I want everybody to put a caption. Caption this look.
Able to see their license plate. They withdrew a substantial amount of money.
I have a caption. What am I doing here? I have to go to work. I have a horse to ride. I have beer to drink.
Bank accounts, and they were not answering attorneys' calls. The seriousness of the charges, I think, is self-explanatory. They are each charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. So taking all those factors into consideration, the court finds that the bond as set is reasonable and is denying the motion.
Welcome, Kate. Thank you for becoming a member.
We'll continue to the preliminary examination on February 8th. And at that point, the court will make a determination as to whether or not other days are necessary for purposes of conducting the preliminary examination. Before we disconnect, I do want to have a conversation with all attorneys in a breakout room. So Amy, if you could please put the attorneys in a breakout room with me, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Now her face says, I love you, James. I'm sorry for cheating on you with my horse. I mean, my boyfriend. She about to get in trouble. What did she just say?
All right, so right there, they are in a breakout session, but you
did she say I love you, or what did she say? Bullshit? Did she say this is bullshit? I think she said this is bullshit. Watch.
All right, so right there, they are in a breakout session, but you just heard there that the reduce in bond not going to happen there, and you're seeing the reactions from
She's so
the parents
homely.
there. And even at times while this hearing was going on, you were hearing
she's still going
their
on.
reactions, and now you can see that they are trying to.
She's still going on. All right, let's slow it down a little bit, see what she says. All trying to get messages to James. Okay, let's slow it down. I think she thought they were going to get out on bond. I really don't think that they expected this. Oh, wait, I sped it up. Hang on. Oh, that's a good screenshot right there. There's the beautiful Jennifer Crumbley at her finest. God, she's so pathetic. I think James is more scared to respond. Because he's in the wide open room. She thinks she's hidden from her hand in that wall. I can't understand what she said. Look at her all playing with the tablet. Oh, he's definitely whipped. But what is she trying to get to him? Oh, now she's got the deputy. You want me to go back? Okay. You know, I want to say Ethan looks like her, but he sure does look like his dad, too. And she's just kicking her leg, just kicking away. Look at her. What? She thought she was going to get out. Ha ha. I love you. This is BS. You okay? You okay? I am. Okay, let's watch closely. Here we go. Oh, she just can't. She's chomping at the bit to get out of there. She thinks she's going to go home. This woman said this is BS. I want to go home. Now she's almost all gray. Do you think the next time we see her, she'll be completely gray?
That's correct.
Okay, here she goes. This was last December, I think. I hurt you. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at him. He's got the pathetic look. She's like, oh, I've got this. This is bullshit, James. We are both getting out. Are you okay, honey? I know you miss door dashing and stuff, but don't worry. We're going to be all right. I just have to get back to work. Now she's got the deputy standing next to her. She's like, oh. Her leg starts kicking even more then. Look at her leg. Look at her. She is such a smug. I mean, how can you not? I mean, she's so not likable. So not likable. Yeah, how are the horses, right? Hi, Mrs. Kurt. All right, guys, that is our Crumbley for today. He is going to stay in the jail, and I've got a going out video for you guys, and I'm going to play it now. Little disturbing, but funny, and I'll probably be live again later. I've got a few updates that I might do. If not, I will see you tomorrow for sure. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'm actually feeling better. You know how like once you get up and moving around, drink you some coffee, you feel better? Well, enjoy this video. This guy was strip searched, and you're not going to believe what was underneath his clothes. Great rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you soon.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors.
Buy new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back.
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.